What's happening? Narrative analysts. Jax Riley here, and we need to talk about what just went down in Indianapolis, because this isn't just about one game anymore. This is about the complete transformation of professional women's basketball as we know it. Sophie Cunningham just torched the Las Vegas Aces for 15 points, hitting 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, while Caitlin Clark sat on the bench in street clothes. The final score? The Indiana Fever, without their $28 million franchise player, just dominated the back-to-back defending champions. But here's what nobody in mainstream sports media wants to tell you. This upset victory isn't an anomaly. It's proof that the WNBA superstar era is officially dead, and the 2025 season is going to completely rewrite everything we thought we knew about this league. I've been filtering through the digital breadcrumbs for weeks, and the signals all point to the same inevitable conclusion. We're witnessing the birth of a parity revolution that's going to make every single superstar-dependent team absolutely panic when they realize their championship window just slammed shut. Let me break down exactly why Sophie Cunningham's breakout performance represents something much bigger than individual success. Over her last 6 games, she's averaging 13.7 points while shooting an absolutely ridiculous 58.1% from three-point range. Those aren't role-player numbers anymore. Those are all-star caliber statistics that would make any franchise salivate. But the story doesn't end there. Basketball analysts are now seriously discussing Cunningham as the front-runner for 6th Player of the Year. One analyst called her an absolute assassin for her clutch shooting ability. When you start getting that kind of recognition for consistent excellence, you're not a supporting cast member anymore. You're a legitimate weapon that changes how teams have to game plan. Here's where things get interesting from a league-wide perspective. Cunningham's emergence isn't happening in isolation. She's reaching these heights while playing alongside other players who are simultaneously elevating their games. Kelsey Mitchell dropped 21 points in this victory over the Aces, including 9 crucial fourth-quarter points after struggling early. Natasha Howard dominated with 18 points and 13 rebounds.
We answered runs today, y'all. We had one another's back today, y'all. In the moments where it seemed like they could have made a little bit of a comeback, we stopped that. Yeah, we sure did. Now we have to be able to continue to stack that, maintain that consistency right there. I'm so proud of you guys. So proud of you guys. That was a hard-fought win. You earned it. Come on, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
We answer runs today, y'all. We have one another bat today, y'all. In the moments where it seemed like they could have made a little bit of a comeback, we stopped that, and we sure did. Now we have to be able to continue to stack that, maintain that consistency right there. I'm so proud of you guys. So proud of you guys. That was a hard-fought win. You earned it. That's the sound of a team that knows they don't need a single superstar to compete with anyone in this league. Coach Stephanie White is building something that traditional basketball philosophy says shouldn't work, but it's working at the highest level against championship caliber competition. Now, official sources won't tell you this, but if you follow the digital breadcrumbs, a different picture emerges about what's really driving this transformation. The Fever's success without Clark isn't just about other players stepping up. It's about a fundamental shift in how basketball is being played at the professional level.
Caitlin, but what has she been able to do this last week? Is it mostly just rehab recovery, or has she been able to do any kinds of practice?
Yeah, no, I mean, we haven't really practiced since the couple days before All-Star break. So mostly rehab, shooting, and she's been with our athletic training team, and we've been preparing everybody
for any opponent. But when she doesn't play, how is your team different?
I think our ball moves differently. What we run is different. She has such gravity, and her ability, not just to be at the top of the scouting report, but her ability to make everybody better with the ball in her hands. So some of the things that we run are different when she's on the floor than when she's not. We run some more off-ball stuff, a lot less on-ball. Actually, a relief to know that there's nothing else going on, and no more damage. Now it's just being patient with the process. You can't have 5-minute lapses against great teams. They make you pay, and they bury you in those moments. I think we've seen throughout the course of the season, where we've been really good for long stretches, and where we've weathered the ups and downs of a game, and we've got to be able to do that from a neutral mindset. We can't get into the playing conservative.
I think our ball moves differently. You know, what we run is different. She has such gravity, and her ability, not just to be the top of the scouting report, but her ability to make everybody better with the ball in her hands. So some of the things that we run are different when she's on the floor than when she's not. You know, we run some more off-ball stuff, a lot less on-ball actions. Did you catch what Coach White just revealed? When Clark is off the court, they run more off-ball stuff and a lot less on-ball actions. Translation: they're playing a more team-oriented, motion-heavy style that creates opportunities for multiple players to impact winning. And guess what? It's working better than anyone expected. This brings us to the inevitable question that's going to define the next 2 seasons. If teams can win at the highest level without relying on superstar isolation plays, what happens to the entire foundation of how franchises build their rosters? The temperature of the online conversation suggests something deeper is happening across the entire league. Teams that have invested heavily in top-tier talent are starting to realize that depth and chemistry might be more valuable than individual dominance. The math is becoming impossible to ignore. Look at the numbers from this upset victory. The Fever shot the ball efficiently as a team, moved the ball effectively, and played suffocating defense. They didn't need one player to score 30 points. They needed 5 players to contribute 15-20 points each, while playing winning basketball on both ends of the court. But here's where the story gets even more intriguing. Okay, now let's get into rumor territory. Nothing is officially confirmed, but the online chatter is too loud to ignore. Multiple sources in WNBA circles are discussing how other teams are already adjusting their 2025 recruitment strategies based on what they're seeing from Indianapolis. The speculation centers around whether franchises that have built everything around a single superstar are going to start prioritizing depth and versatility over individual scoring ability. Because apparently, having 5 players who can hurt you is more dangerous than having 1 player who can dominate you. Sophie Cunningham's podcast appearance, where she defended Caitlin Clark by calling critics dumb as Faye, reveals another crucial element of this transformation. She's not just playing at an elite level, she's developing the confidence and voice of a player who knows her value extends beyond being a supporting cast member. That brings us to what I think is the most significant revelation from this entire situation. Cunningham has created a multi-dimensional presence that combines elite on-court performance with fashion statements, outspoken advocacy, and authentic leadership. Sound familiar? That's exactly how superstars are supposed to operate. The difference is that she's doing it while surrounded by other players who are simultaneously reaching similar levels of impact and recognition. Mitchell is becoming a clutch performer. Howard is establishing herself as a defensive anchor. Even players coming off the bench are contributing in ways that suggest they could start for other teams.
Cunningham too strong. Mitchell able to save the day. And it's Mitchell going right to the rim. Beats the shot clock and lays it in. Mitchell to the rescue.
Possessions very disruptive, causing all kinds of havoc. Late shot clock situations. And then Kelsey.
Cunningham too. Strong Mitchell able to save the day. And it's Mitchell going right to the rim, beats the shot clock and lays it in. Mitchell to the rescue is very disruptive, causing all kinds of havoc. Late shot clock situations. That's the sound of a team where anyone can be the hero on any given possession. Mitchell went from shooting 4 for 19 through 3 quarters to becoming the closer when the game was on the line. In the old superstar model, that responsibility belongs to one player. In the new parity model, it belongs to whoever has the best matchup or the hottest hand. I've been tracking the broader implications of this shift, and the numbers are starting to paint a picture that should terrify every franchise that's built around individual dominance. The most successful teams this season are the ones with the deepest rotations and the most balanced scoring attacks. But the story doesn't end there. We need to talk about what this means for the defending champions and established powerhouses. The Las Vegas Aces walked into Indianapolis expecting to face a depleted team without their best player. Instead, they got absolutely dominated by a squad that had 5 different players contribute double-digit scoring. Aja Wilson is a 2-time MVP and Olympic gold medalist. Her team just got outplayed, outcoached, and out-hustled by a group that mainstream media was ready to write off the moment Clark got injured. That's not supposed to happen if the superstar model actually works the way we've been told it works. The victory secured a crucial season series tiebreaker that could determine playoff positioning, but more importantly, it sent a message that reverberated through every front office in the league. The Fever improved to 14-12 and positioned themselves 6th in the standings without their highest-paid player making a single contribution on the court. Okay, now let's get into rumor territory again. Nothing is officially confirmed, but the digital signals suggest that other teams are already having internal discussions about whether their superstar-centric approaches are sustainable in this new competitive environment. The question isn't whether parity is coming to the WNBA anymore. The question is which teams are going to adapt fast enough to survive it.
First of all, I started off with our defense. Our defense to get our offense going, and that's how we maintain games like that. We don't rely on our offense a lot. We rely on our defense to get when our defense is going, our offense is going. So we limited the Vegas to one shot, and that's how we got open shots for the shooters inside the paint and everything.
And a W shot. Oh, that was a gut check win right there. Oh, nothing to check. Yes, it's Tasha Howard. Right. That was a fun one. My gosh, and these jerseys are.
Our defense gets our offense going. When defense is going, our offense is going. We don't rely on our offense a lot. We rely on our defense to get our defense going. Our offense is going. So we limited the Vegas in one shot, and that's how we got open shots from shooters inside the paint and everything. That's championship-level basketball philosophy being executed by players who understand that collective excellence beats individual brilliance when the stakes are highest. The Fever didn't outscore the Aces because they had better talent. They won because they had better chemistry, better preparation, and better execution when it mattered most. This brings us to what I believe will be the defining storyline of the 2025 season. Sophie Cunningham's breakout isn't just about one player reaching new heights. It's proof that the league has evolved to a point where role players can become stars, supporting cast members can become leaders, and teams can compete for championships without relying on individual dominance. The implications for roster construction, salary cap management, and competitive balance are staggering. Teams that figure out how to develop depth and chemistry are going to have massive advantages over franchises that continue investing everything in top-tier individual talent. But here's what makes this story even more compelling. Cunningham's success is happening while she's playing alongside Caitlin Clark, not instead of her. When Clark returns from her groin injury, she'll be joining a team that has proven they can compete at the highest level without needing her to carry the entire burden. That's not a threat to Clark's superstardom. It's the foundation for sustainable championship contention that doesn't require one player to be perfect every single night. The best teams in professional sports are the ones where stars can have off nights without losing games, where role players can become heroes when circumstances demand it, and where chemistry trumps talent when the stakes are highest. The temperature of the online conversation suggests that fans are starting to appreciate this evolution too. Social media engagement around Sophie Cunningham's performance isn't just about celebrating individual success. It's about recognizing that basketball at its highest level is supposed to be a team sport where anyone can make the difference between winning and losing. So what's fact and what's speculation? Let's break it down. The facts are clear. Sophie Cunningham is shooting 58.1% from 3 over 6 games. The Fever beat the defending champions without their superstar. And parity across the league is creating competitive balance that nobody predicted at the start of the season. The speculation centers around whether this represents a permanent shift or a temporary anomaly. Based on everything I'm seeing in the digital conversations, the underlying trends, and the way teams are starting to adapt their strategies, this looks like the beginning of a fundamental transformation rather than a short-term adjustment. Teams that embrace depth, chemistry, and collective excellence are going to thrive in this new environment. Franchises that continue building around individual dominance are going to discover that their championship windows are closing faster than they anticipated. The Indiana Fever's upset victory over the Las Vegas Aces will be remembered as the moment when everyone realized the WNBA had entered a new era. Sophie Cunningham's breakout performance was just the catalyst that forced us to pay attention to what was already happening. When Caitlin Clark returns healthy, she'll be joining a team that has proven they can compete with anyone, anywhere, at any time. That combination of superstar talent and proven depth creates the exact formula that wins championships in any era of professional basketball. But the bigger story is what this means for every other team in the league. The parity revolution is here, and it's going to completely rewrite the championship landscape for 2025 and beyond. Teams that figure out how to build sustainable excellence through depth and chemistry are going to separate themselves from franchises that are still stuck in the old superstar model. The future of the WNBA belongs to organizations that understand basketball as a team sport where stars make everyone better, not teams where everyone exists to make stars look good. Sophie Cunningham just proved that principle at the highest level against the best competition in the world. That brings us to the inevitable question that's going to define everything moving forward. If the superstar era is officially over, which teams are going to adapt fast enough to compete for championships in this new reality? The answer to that question will determine who's cutting down nets in 2020. And based on what we just witnessed in Indianapolis, the teams that embrace parity and collective excellence are going to have every advantage over the franchises that are still trying to win with outdated superstar-dependent strategies. What do you think, narrative analysts? Are we witnessing the death of the superstar era, or is this just a temporary shift that will correct itself when injured stars return healthy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is just getting started. If this analysis opened your eyes to what's really happening behind the scenes in the WNBA, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you never miss our deep dives into the stories that mainstream sports media won't tell you. And if you want to support independent basketball journalism that connects the dots others miss, consider sharing this video with fellow basketball fans who appreciate the metagame narratives that truly drive this league. The parity revolution is here, and we're going to be covering every single development as it reshapes the championship landscape. Thanks for rolling with us on this investigation, and we'll see you in the next deep dive, where we continue following the digital breadcrumbs that reveal what's really happening in women's professional basketball.